If people could come in, come on over, fellas. We had a big meeting with a lot of people, a lot of talent from Israel and from the U.S. And I think we came to a lot of conclusion and conclusions. And there's very little difference in what we're looking at and where we want to be, where we want to go. And so I just want to thank you for spending time. I know you're going to be over here for a couple of days, and maybe we'll be surprising us on New Year's Eve. That'll be fine.
Well, thank you.
And it's wonderful seeing you and Sarah and your whole group. Very talented group. We've done very good work together, and it'll continue. So thank you very much, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. I have to say that in addition to what I said, that we've never had a friend, even close, a friend, as President Trump in the White House. I think he's been extraordinary in his friendship and his support for Israel, his principled positions, his willingness to just cut through and get to the essence of things. And I don't say that as a compliment. I just mean it. People have heard me say that behind your back, Mr. President, many times. But I want to say something else. I think we have a partnership, if I can quote you, second to none. I think it's allowed us to do enormous things. You know, people said there was a different conception at one time, which means that America can advance its interest in the Middle East if it opens a lot of daylight between it and Israel. And President Trump has done the exact opposite. He's achieved remarkable things in the Middle East because we work together. We talk about our ideas. Sometimes we have different ideas, but we work it out. And most of the time we see eye to eye. But it's been a remarkable experience, and this was a very, very productive meeting. And may I say, a very good lunch. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you very much, baby.
And thank you for your support. It's meant from the heart.
Thank you. You know, as I said outside, he's been a wartime prime minister, and we were, well, I guess I could say I was a wartime president in more places than just Israel, if you think about it. But Israel was a big factor, and we're with you, and we'll continue to be with you. And a lot of good things are happening in the Middle East. We have peace in the Middle East, and we're going to try and keep it that way. I think we will be very successful in keeping it that way. And you've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you and to Israel, and it's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe, he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli. And we're going to award it this year to President Trump. This was announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So, again, that's an expression of thanks and appreciation.
Thank you, baby, very much. That really is a great honor. Any questions, please? We'll go pretty quickly because pretty much we agree on most of the things, and you would know what most of those things are. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to know if you and the Prime Minister talked about having Israel pull back its troops before Hamas fully disarms. I know that's been an issue. Did you push for that today?
Well, we talked about Hamas, and we talked about disarmament. And they're going to be given a very short period of time to disarm. and we'll see how that works out. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side. But if they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them. And we don't want that. We're not looking for that. But they have to disarm within a fairly short period of time.
Is Israel withdrawing its forces?
Well, that's a separate subject. We'll talk about that.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, did you have a message for the Prime Minister about the West Bank? And are you at all concerned that settler violence, Israeli settler violence, could be undermining the peace plan?
Well, we have had a discussion, big discussion, for a long time on the West Bank. And I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
If I could ask, what is the disagreement?
Well, I don't want to do that. It'll be announced at an appropriate time. But he will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing. Yes.
There is a growing fear of a confrontation between Israel and Turkey. How are you going to ease this tension given the fact that President Erdogan calls Mr. Netanyahu Hitler and compares Israel to the Nazis?
Well, I know President Erdogan very well. And as you all know, he's a very good friend of mine. And I believe that, and I do respect him, and Bibi respects him. And they're not going to have a problem. They're not going to have a problem. I know him very well. And you've seen me do things with President Erdogan and Turkey that nobody else could have done. We're not going to have a problem. He's done a fantastic job. I'm with him all the way. I'm with Bibi all the way. Nothing's going to happen. Yes.
Mr. President,
Are you concerned that Israel is not moving quickly enough to phase 2 of the peace plan?
Well, I'm not concerned about anything that Israel's doing. I'm concerned about what other people are doing or maybe aren't doing. But I'm not concerned. They've lived up to the plan. They're strong. They're solid. And sometimes they don't understand when somebody violates something that you want to give them a second chance. Well, we'll give them a couple of second chances. But no, Israel's lived up to the plan 100%. Don't forget, we made the plan possible by taking out Iran. And speaking of Iran, I hope they're not trying to build up again, because if they are, we're going to have no choice but very quickly to eradicate that buildup. So I hope Iran is not trying to build up, as I've been reading that they're building up weapons and other things. And if they are, they're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel. Okay?
Mr. President Trump, because your last remarks regarding the pardon request of Prime Minister Netanyahu, Herzog office told us that you have not talked after the official request of Prime Minister Netanyahu pardon. Can you clarify to us? Did you talk
Which
about
request
it
are you talking about?
with the President Herzog, the Israeli President Herzog? Did you talk with him directly?
President Erdogan?
Herzog. The Israeli
So
President.
you're talking
Herzog.
about pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got to say that. No, I think he's going to be in great shape. He's a wartime prime minister at the highest level. He's achieved tremendous success. And I'll say it, if you had 8 out of 10 prime ministers in his position right now, or before right now, maybe, you wouldn't have Israel any longer. Israel would not exist. I'd say two of them would, and 8 of them wouldn't. Those are not good odds. You needed a very special man to really carry through and really help Israel through this horrible jam. These are major factions, and it started with our negotiation with Iran. I think it probably started with Soleimani. That was really where you mentioned that today, which started with Soleimani. Bad guy, doing bad things, hurting a lot of people, killing American soldiers and other soldiers. But it started right there, would probably be the starting point. And then from that point forward, but you have a wartime prime minister at the highest level. There could be other wartime prime ministers, but they'd lose. He won. And I think the people of Israel appreciate it. I think a lot of the people in the world appreciate it, actually. And because of that victory, we were able to get peace in the Middle East. If you had a different kind of a personality, if you
What's
had a
up,
weak
chat?
person
What's up, chat?
or a
Happy New
stupid
Year,
person,
everybody
and there are
out
plenty
there.
of both of them,
Appreciate y'all for
you would
joining.
not have had
Hope y'all
success,
having a
and you
great
might not
day.
have Israel. And
Hope
you
y'all had a
report
great
for
2025.
Israel. I know you're very
Thank y'all
proud
for
of it, and
coming
you do a
through.
great job. You might not have a job because there might not be an Israel right now if you had a different prime minister. That's a big statement, but to me, it's a very simple statement to make. I'm looking at Pete Hegseth, and he's sort of nodding. If they don't have a strong prime minister, Pete, you might not have Israel today. I think he'll go down.
I want to
in
thank
the record
everybody
books.
for subscribing
And, you
to
know,
the
it was a
channel.
big help.
Been a
I'll be
great
honest.
year
Big,
over
big
here.
help.
Scott Sniper
Somebody
TV.
said in the room, if you don't have Trump, you
7,000
needed a
subscribers
proper
in 8
combination
months.
of everything.
Appreciate y'all for rocking with
And
the
if you
channel.
didn't have that
Appreciate
combination,
y'all
which
for
they
rocking with
had,
the channel. And guess what?
you would not
We're
have
going
an
to
existing Israel right now.
double time
And the people of Israel know it.
2026.
That's why they like
We're
me,
going to
and it's
double
why
time
they actually
in
like him. He's got a
2026.
little bit of a love-hate more than I do over there. But you know what? Even the haters have a lot of respect for him. There's a lot of jealousy about him. A lot of jealousy. Jealousy is a bad word. But I believe you would not have Israel right now. So it's a big deal. Yeah,
If you're
please.
excited for the next year, hit the like button. We got 97 people in the building. Y'all can be anywhere else, but y'all rocking with me.
To do so.
Hit the
Back
like
in
button.
February, you said that all Gazans would be
I heard
the
the
like
number
button.
today, half of Gaza would leave.
If you are excited
I've always said it.
about
I said if we were
2026,
given the opportunity
you had an
to
amazing
live in
2025.
a better
hit the
climate,
like button.
they would move. They're there because they sort of have to be. I think it would be a great opportunity, but let's see if that opportunity presents itself. But we're helping the people of Gaza a lot. So is Israel, by the way. So we'll see what happens. But I saw that it was a poll. It was actually more than half the people would leave if they were given the opportunity. And I've been saying that for a long time. To me, it was common sense. So it's interesting.
Why wouldn't countries accept them?
Look, let's not talk about it because we don't want the controversy. Right now, we're helping Gaza. But if they were given the opportunity, I think even higher than that, the group that did the poll is usually, I call them negative pollsters. You have a lot of them. And yet this poll was, I think, very accurate, other than it would be more than half the people if given the opportunity. But they haven't been given that opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
Point of understanding regarding Syria.
We do have an understanding regarding Syria. Now, with Syria, you know, your new president, I respect him. He's a very strong guy, and that's what you need in Syria. You can't put a choir boy. You can't put somebody that's a perfect person. Everything's nice, no problems in life. You have the opposite there. He's a strong guy. We get along with him great. I can't ask for any more. He's been with us all the way. We had that mishap with ISIS, and he was with us all the way. He was fighting us. You know, he was fighting them. So I hope Israel. I'm sure that Israel and him will get along. I will try and make it so that they do get along. I think they will. Bibi, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, well, our interest is to have a peaceful border with Syria. Our interest is to have, and we openly say it, we want to make sure that the border area right next to our border is safe. We don't have terrorists, we don't have attacks, and we also want to secure our Druze friends. And by the way, I think not only the Druze, but other minorities, especially the Christians, should be protected as well in Syria and throughout the Middle East and in Nigeria. In your efforts, we back completely, because Christian communities are beleaguered around the world, and especially in the Middle East, but in parts of Africa too. And we stand for the same thing.
And don't forget, it was President Erdogan that helped very much get rid of a very bad ruler of Syria. That was President Erdogan. And he never wanted the credit for it, but he really gets a lot of credit. Bibi agrees with that. I agree with. I mean, I know it. And President Erdogan should get a lot of good credit for what he did. He got rid of some very bad people. And, you know, they've been wanting to do that for 1,000 years with different names, but for 1,000 years in Syria. President Erdogan did it, and we give him a lot of credit. I give him a lot of credit. But I think it's going to work out well between Syria and Israel.
Mr. President, about Lebanon.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The Lebanese government, what is is not meeting the terms of the ceasefire agreement, has failed to disarm Hezbollah actually. In your view, should Israel strike the terrorist organization again?
Well, we're going to see about that. We'll see about it. The Lebanese government is at a little bit of a disadvantage, if you think of it, with Hezbollah. But Hezbollah has been behaving badly, so we'll see what happens.
How close are we to another operation of Israel in Iran? You said before the meeting with Netanyahu that you are in support of Israel if the ballistic missile project will take on, and also the nuclear weapon. But after the meeting, after what you know from the intelligence, how close are we to another war with Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that, but Iran may be behaving badly. It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful, maybe more powerful than the last time. Yeah. And Iran should have made a deal the last time. I gave them the option. I said, you can make a deal. Do it. I told them, do it. And they didn't believe me. Now they believe me.
Evidence that Iran is behaving badly, and what do you mean by that?
This is just what we hear. But usually, where there's smoke, there's fire. Have you heard the expression?
What do you mean related to the nuclear capability?
Well, no, I'm hearing that they're not nuclear yet, but maybe nuclear too. The sites were obliterated, but they're looking at other sites. That's what I've heard. They're
And you have
looking.
intelligence to
So it'll
that?
take a long time. They're not going to go back to where they were, but they have other places they can go. And if they're doing that, they're making a big mistake. Yeah, please. There's no reason for them to do it.
Mr. President, is the United States currently open to engaging in bilateral discussions with Tehran? We're hearing reports from numerous countries that there may be some discussions. Is that something you would support, or
Yeah,
something that is
I would.
happening? You
Sure.
would support that?
I would, yes.
Right now. Thank you, sir.
I have been, by the way, before the war, I would support that. I said to him, baby, I said, let's negotiate. And they didn't believe what was going to happen would happen. Yes, ma'am.
On China. So China's been doing naval exercises basically to test encircling Taiwan. Can you explain to us what your knowledge is of that? What do you think about that? Have you had any discussions with China
Well, I have a
about
great
that?
relationship with President Xi, and he hasn't told me anything about it. I certainly have seen it, but he hasn't told me anything about it, and I don't believe he's going to be doing it.
Does it worry you?
No, nothing worries me.
But
Nothing.
you said where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So
Yeah.
if you're if you're doing naval exercises and air
Well,
exercises,
they've been doing naval exercises for 20 years in that area. Now people take it a little bit differently, but in fact larger than they're doing right now. So we'll see. But they've been doing that for 20, 25 years. Yeah.
Mr. President, if you don't see Hamas disarm in that short amount of time that you're giving them, can you tell us what the next steps would
It'll be horrible for them. Horrible. It's going to be really, really bad for them. And I don't want that to happen. But they made an agreement that they were going to disarm. And you couldn't blame Israel. By the way, we have other countries that will come in and do it. They said, let us do it for you if they don't. Countries that were with them wanted the deal to be made, agreed that they would disarm. And now if they say they're going to disarm, that's fine. If they say they're not going to disarm, those same countries will go and wipe them out. They don't even need Israel. You know, we have many countries, 59 countries that are in agreement. This is a real peace in the Middle East. And Hamas is a small part of it, but it's still a part of it. But we have 59 countries that signed on, big countries, countries that are outside of the Middle East, as you know the Middle East. They want to go in and wipe out Hamas. They don't want Israel. They don't need Israel. They want to do it because it's the right thing to do, because they were for the deal based on the fact that Hamas pledged, they swore that they were going to disarm. Now, if they're not going to disarm, those same countries will wipe out Hamas. Yeah.
President Trump, do you think that the PA should be involved the day after in Gaza Strip, even in the near future? And the same question to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Do you see a real opportunity that the PA will be in Gaza?
Go ahead, Mimi.
I think President Trump put clearly the conditions of reform that he wants to see in the PA for them to be involved. And I think he put it very clearly what he wants to see, the kind of real reforms, not just perfunctory reforms, or real reforms. Stop pay to slay, change the curriculum in your textbooks, open up, a different society and a different future. If they do it, well, let them. I think it was clear. He put
Pretty clear.
He put guidelines that were, by the way, in the Trump plan of 2020, and they were put then in the 20 points, and it's up to them.
Remember this, if we didn't do what we did to Iran, just to make the subject just slightly different, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal signed in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal. Because other Arab nations, which are great people, I know them very well, I know them all, they're great people, they wouldn't be able to have agreed to peace in the Middle East because you would have had a dark cloud hanging over everything. It wouldn't have been possible. So Iran has been greatly reduced in power, prestige. I don't want to use the word humiliation because, they're trying to build up again. But we can't let them build up because if they build up, there can't be peace in the Middle East. It was a mistake. When they wiped out Iraq and Iran were about the same power. And they fought each other with different names for 1,000 years. And then our country came out and blew up one of those two countries, namely Iraq. And all of a sudden, Iran had the whole Middle East all to itself. But that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore.
Say it? Tell us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords. If you can tell us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords.
Well, the Abraham Accords are a great achievement of Jared and everybody. I mean, it was one of the great achievements. They'll be expanded. Countries are already talking about expanding it, and they'll be expanded fairly quickly. Yeah, please.
Saudi Arabia? Is it still on the table? The normalization?
Saudi Arabia is great. We have a great leader, and a friend of mine, and a friend of a lot of people. Also an enemy of some people, but those people aren't doing so well. No, Saudi Arabia has been very good as far as I'm concerned. They've done everything that we can ask for.
But normalization with Israel is on the table?
They're getting along great with Israel. They will. And at some point, they'll sign the Abraham Accords.
Mr. President, we know. So one of the big domestic tasks ahead of you is to pick a new chairman for the Fed.
Yeah.
You've said that you have one favorite, but you're
I do.
also doing interviews.
Still do. Hasn't changed. Yeah, I'll announce them at the right time. There's plenty of time.
Are you? Is
But
there
in the
any
meantime,
chance?
we're doing numbers that nobody's ever seen. We have $18 trillion coming in.
What's up, chat? How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all for joining. We got 200 and some people in the building. Let's hit the like button, guys. What are y'all doing tonight for New Year's, chat? What do y'all have going on for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? Y'all let me know inside of the chat what you got going on tomorrow. I thank y'all for coming and rocking with me. Everybody that's been coming and rocking with me. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve, and you kicking it with me. What y'all got going on, chat? Somebody let me know in the chat what y'all got going on tonight. Me, I'm going live, and we're streaming, and we're also watching the Longhorns, watching a good bowl game. It's 10-10 right now. Hook 'em horns. All right, Tonda Jean Jones, nothing. Who else? What else, Chad? Who else got something going on tonight? Is Donald Trump saying, I remember marathon? Obama started trouble. Praying that God will save us. All right, Kim. Everybody and everyone ride the lightning now. All right, Generation X, appreciate you for joining. What y'all got going on tonight, chat? It's been well, it ain't been a long year. This year went by pretty fast for me, chat. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel, everybody that's been rocking with the channel. The last 8 months, we've managed to come up on 7,000 subscribers in 8 months. And I really, really appreciate y'all for making this this channel explode like it has in the last 8 months. Next year is going to be amazing. Starting 2026, it's going to be amazing on the channel. You in the right spot. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Next year, oh yeah, y'all thought 2025 was something. Just wait to see what we have in store for the channel in 2026. Thank all the moderators for coming and doing a good job. We got Jonathan Davis in the building, and we got Don Julio in the building. Two great moderators that's been rocking with the channel just about every time we go live. Appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all. Congratulations, brother. Oh, thank you. Tonda, thank you, thank you, thank you. It will never get better. Be happy what you got. Yes, it's going to get better. We're going 3X next year in 2026. We're going 3X. As long as God can wake us up, it will get better. But guess what? We got to put the work in. And we put the work in 2025, and we're just going to 3X it in 2026. All right, let's keep on going with Donald Trump and Netanyahu. Appreciate y'all for joining, chat. Hope y'all having a great day. Let's go.
We had a 4.3% GDP. They thought it was going to be 2%. And that's despite the Democrat shutdown. Had the shutdown not occurred, we would have had an extra 1.25. Think of that. We are doing, and also despite the fact that we have a fool at the Federal Reserve. I mean, Biden reappointed him. It's too bad. You would have thought he wouldn't have done that. But he's an absolute fool who's building a new Federal Reserve, or he's doing a renovation of a building. Maybe he's up to $4.1 billion to do a renovation of a few very small buildings. It's the highest price in the history of construction. He's spending more money than any building has ever spent per square foot on the renovation of, as an example, I'm doing a magnificent, big, beautiful ballroom that the country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years. It's a massive job, and it's a tiny fraction of that number. And we're under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, it's bigger than I told you. After realizing we're going to do the inauguration in that building, it's got all bulletproof glass.
Hey, what's up, ATM Tim? What's going on?
They call it drone-free roof.
What's going on, ATM Tim? Appreciate you for joining.
Won't touch it.
Happy New Year to you, brother.
It's a big, beautiful, safe building. But it's a big project. For a tiny fraction of that, we're under budget and ahead of schedule. And they've wanted it for 150 years. Think of it, the Federal Reserve building, two buildings there, they don't know what they're doing. They're way over budget. I mean, this was built during the Biden administration. And I rode by it the other day, and it's headed by the head of the Federal Reserve. Too late, too late, Powell. Too late because he's always too late with interest rates, except before the election. He was too early because that would have helped. That was supposed to help get her elected. It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states. But no. We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He's at $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats, highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built for a much smaller price. So we're thinking about bringing a gross incompetence, what's called gross incompetence lawsuit. It's gross incompetence against Powell. And it was his baby. And the guy's just incompetent. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. He's just a very incompetent man. But we're going to probably bring a lawsuit against him. Thank you all very much.
Oh, we got a super chat. Appreciate you, ATM Tim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, ATM Tim. Appreciate you for supporting the show and the channel. Oh, man.
Entirely?
Be a favor to the nation.
Michigan is on.
He's come close. I mean, we're getting pretty close.
Michigan
I
on
would
the
fire
road,
him.
chat.
I'd love to fire him, but we're so close, maybe it, but maybe I still might.
Will you
sell
F-35 to the Turkey?
Say it?
Are you going to approve a selling of F-35 to the Turkey?
We're thinking about it very seriously.
And what is
What
your
prevented-
reaction to this?
They'll never use it on it.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President.
They did that helicopter very low and basically kind of just telling them, hey, we got eyes on you. But are they going to let this guy go? That's the other side of it. What we're hearing was this is an armed carjacking suspect. So this person that basically took that vehicle from somebody with force, with some sort of weapon. So that is a very dangerous person behind the wheel.
Thank you for the
Now,
super
though,
chat,
it's
ATM
we're
Tim.
blessed with
Appreciate
light
you for
traffic
coming
today.
through.
It is definitely Friday light
Thank you
and
for the
also
super chat.
the end of a
You're an amazing
holiday.
person,
But
bro.
right now, pushing
We
100
appreciate
miles an
you.
hour northbound on the
We
170,
appreciate you.
using all lanes of the freeway, and it looks like we might be getting back off of the freeway. And this is what it is. It's so dangerous.
A lot of traffic now building up on these surface streets.
Which makes it more dangerous, obviously, because now you have more
Chad,
people involved. You have
who will
parked
be
cars,
running
you have
from the
pedestrians,
police
you have
on
bicyclists.
Christmas Eve?
So this is
Look at this,
becoming
Chad.
more dangerous.
Who will be
and, in a way, it was almost
in a
safer on
police
the freeway,
chase
right? Because you
on New Year's Eve?
you were dealing with fewer cars and fewer situations here. But continuing to drive erratically, just gliding through those lanes.
Let's see what else we can check out, Chad.
Careless, very careless.
You know, you got to be in a bad state of mind.
That's one of the things. Look at this.
To be
Look at
running
this.
from the
Oh my
police.
gosh, that is so much traffic down there.
On
And
Christmas, on
he
New
just
Year's
basically
Eve.
made another U-turn.
I don't know
We're
why I
on the
keep thinking
freeway.
about Christmas.
Well, you haven't made a U-turn on the freeway, but our direction
Look
has
at this,
totally
Chad.
changed. We were southbound,
Police
and
chase
now
on
we're
New
back
Year's
northbound
Eve.
again, making our way back through the Coanga Pass, this time on the roads instead of the freeways. But yes,
Oh,
definitely.
that's number one
when
police
they get on
chase
the freeways,
for
it doesn't mean that
2025.
it's not dangerous. And it just means that there's, less of a chance that there is a pedestrian or
Let's see
any
what
other
else we
type
can
of
come up with, though.
anything else, a bicyclist, anything that could get in the way. But there's still other cars out here, and he does get very, very close. And we have seen high-speed chases where they are by themselves. They make that hard turn. The car starts losing traction, and then, poor driving, and then there's an accident, and people are injured. So
We had, as you know, settled 8 wars, and one was having a little problem yesterday, Thailand and Cambodia. We were able to straighten that out. There was some killing going on that shouldn't have happened, and we appreciate them working to get it straightened out, and they have. The security protocols yesterday were amazing, and they have been amazing, having to do with Russia and Ukraine. And I had a long talk with President Zelensky. Also, I spoke with the heads of Germany, Italy, NATO, Finland.
That was Hollywood,
France,
California.
United Kingdom, Poland, Norway,
Hollywood
Denmark,
Hills.
and the Netherlands. We had very long and very good talks. And again, I think things are going along pretty well. 27,000 soldiers were killed last month. Shouldn't happen. Should have never happened. Should have never started. That war should have never, ever started. But it did, and we're trying to get it solved. That was Biden's situation. We're trying to get it done. And I think we're closer now, and they will tell you that they're closer now. We had numerous conversations with President Putin of Russia, and I think we're closer now than we have been ever. And we'll see what we can do. We want to save a lot of lives. We sell equipment to NATO. We don't spend any money, but we do want to see if we can save a lot of lives. When you're losing 25,000 to 30,000 soldiers, mostly soldiers, other people too, from towns, and like places like Kiev, various other places throughout Ukraine. It's pretty bad. Nobody's seen anything like it, actually, since World War II. But we're getting closer. We're having tremendous support from European leaders. They want to get it ended also. And at this moment, Russia wants to get it ended. The problem is they'll want to get it ended, and then all of a sudden they won't. And Ukraine will want to get it ended, and all of a sudden they won't. So we have to get them on the same page. But I think that's working along. Very good talk.
That's Nairobi, Kenya. Shout out to Nairobi, Kenya. Happy New Year to Kenya. Shout out to Nairobi, Kenya. Let's go. Whoa! Man, that's beautiful, ain't it, Chad? That's beautiful. Wow. It's beautiful how they got it going on, Chad. Caught it. Excuse me, Chad. I am also watching the Longhorns. Michigan Wolverine is coming back versus Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. We're losing right now, 17-10. Oh, it's on the defense. Thank everybody for hitting the like button. We got 24 likes so far. I'm 5 miles from the University of Notre Dame. Shout out to Notre Dame. Oh, catch it. Shout out to Notre Dame. Notre Dame was the first college to give me a letter when I was in the 9th grade. Shout out to Notre Dame. They sent me my first letter when I was in the 9th grade, Notre Dame University. Shout out to them. My brother was a diehard Wolverine fan. Oh! What city is this? Dubai. Wow. That's beautiful, ain't it, Chad? It is now 2026 in Dubai. Did they call it? Because I wasn't paying attention. Look at those fireworks for Dubai, Chad. I wonder what New York's going to look like. It better outdo all of these countries. America got to outdo these countries. Fireworks. Come on, Manning. Touchdown. Oh! Let's go, Arch Manning. Let's go, Arch Manning. What a Longhorn fans at? Hey, what's up, DJ? Appreciate you for joining. Hope you're having an amazing day. Gotta excuse me, Chad. I gotta watch my Longhorn. If you don't know, if it's the first time joining the channel, I'm a huge Longhorn fan. We got 26 likes. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. We got 117 people in the building kicking it with your boy, and we appreciate it. Y'all know the playoffs, the college playoffs tonight too. We got Ohio State versus Miami tonight. So yeah, we're gonna watch that too. Should be a good game tonight, chat. All you Miami University fans, good luck. All you Ohio State Buckeyes fans, good luck. If you don't know, Ohio State, they won the national championship last year, so they're trying to repeat. I got to check on my ticket, chat, because I did put a ticket in. I got to see how it's going. I got the Longhorns, of course, and then I got a 5. Anonymous 1985. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for joining me. I'm trying to check on my tickets. On my parlay. I got the Longhorns over Michigan, and then I got a 5-player parlay. Let's see what's going on. I got Arch Manning under 257 yards passing. What else I got? I got Arch Manning under 275 on passing. I got the Longhorns to win. What else I got? I got to wait till the next game because I got Carson Beck, the quarterback for Miami, passing TDs. All he got to get is one passing TD. And I got Carter Davis. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that. To get at least one field goal. Then I got Julian Sayin, Ohio State University quarterback, over 229 passing yards. I think I look pretty good on that, Chad. I think I'm looking pretty good. And then I got Manning under 267. And he already got 134 yards passing, so he might go over the 267. But I can afford to, not hit on one because it's a flex. I'm on flex pay. Flex play on Prize Picks. But the other three got to hit. I can only afford to lose one out of the three on Prize Picks. Okay, where they at now? Still in Dubai. Still in Dubai. We still in Dubai, yeah. I'm gonna switch it for now. Let's see what put it on this. See what Donald Trump talking about.
Of U.S. Northern Command, General Gregory Gill, Commander of the Southern Border Task Force, Major General Scott Noman, Command Sergeant Major Brett Johnson of the U.S. Army's 10th Mountain Division, Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Agency, Terry Cole, and many other members of our administration who have done an incredible job on the border. People forget now that the border has been secure for actually 7 months, think of it, more. And they don't mention the border anymore. Nobody talks about the border. They talk about affordability, and we're the ones that are bringing the prices down. We were given the worst inflation in our country's history, and we're bringing the prices down. But the affordability is on the Democrats because they have made it unaffordable to be in this country, but we're bringing those prices down, and they're coming down quickly. Energy is coming way down, and if you look, gasoline prices are hitting in many locations $1.99 a gallon. Nobody thought they'd see that. There were $4, $5, and $6 a gallon under Biden. In the 4 years before I took office, our
Shanna,
southern border
where are my
was surrendered
kids?
to criminals, drug
I hope you
cartels,
know where your
human
kids at.
traffickers, and child smugglers. Our entire
Shanna, I hope you
southwest
know where they at.
border on the Mexican side is under the physical
If you
control
don't
of
know where they at,
cartels
you
that are
better
among
get
the
off
most
this
violent
internet and go
entities
find them.
nobody's ever seen anywhere on the planet. The most violent people on the planet. Remember when the Democrats and others, the radical left, used to say that the people they're allowing into our country, immigrants, are nice
Shanna,
people.
I appreciate you for
They're not
coming.
violent like our
But
people.
if you don't know where your kids at,
They make
you need to go
our
find your
people look
kids.
like babies. These are some of the most violent
I'm starving.
criminals
I'm
anywhere on
desperate,
earth.
Wild 10.
From many
Phone's gonna
countries,
connect to
not
my
just
phone.
Venezuela. Venezuela emptied their jails into our country, but others have also. The Congo has. So many other countries have.
If you don't know where your kids are, you better go
We
find
don't
your
put up with it.
kids.
I have to say the drugs coming in by sea are down 94%. and we're trying to figure out who the other 6% are. But they're down 94%, and we're going to start hitting them on land, which is a lot easier to do, frankly. But these are a direct military threat to the United States of America. They're trying to drug out our country. And you can look throughout history. Look at China when they were loaded up with drugs. They were suffering greatly, and others were able to take them over. And other countries also. They're trying to drug out our country, and we're reversing it
Yep,
rapidly.
this live.
But with the help of our great service,
It's not AI.
stop the
It's
invasion
live.
in its tracks, and we're dismantling the cartels very rapidly.
Alex, it's
And,
live.
they are being declared
They were
enemies
made
of
without my
the
knowledge
United
and
States
consent.
of America. They have been so declared, legally declared. More than 25,000 warriors have served in this historic operation. It is indeed an incredible and historic operation. And we've never done anything so effectively, and we've had a lot of victories. They've spent night
It's
and
Trump
day
live.
enduring scorching hot and
No
bitter
Trump
cold,
not
and they've
live.
given up
This
their
is
holidays and their weekends,
the best
working
of Trump,
with the
Trump in
officers of
2025.
Customs and Border Protection. Our
The
armed
best of Donald
forces
Trump,
have already
2025.
conducted nearly 13,000
That's what we're
patrols
watching.
along the border, and today we give these great warriors the recognition that they have earned, and they have really earned it. The military component of our border security efforts is just the beginning. We're also designating the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, a big deal from a legal standpoint and military standpoint. We've ended catch and release, and we endured and ensured that anyone who sets foot across our border illegally is intercepted, arrested, and immediately deported, or if they're really bad, they're put into prison because we don't want to ever take a chance if they come back. As a result, illegal border crossings have plummeted to the lowest level ever recorded in the history of our country. Think of that. The history of our country. You can all be very proud. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States of America. We inherited the worst border in the history of our country, one of the worst borders, I would say, in the world. I can't imagine any border in the world being worse when they allowed 25 million people to come in. And again, many of these people are gang members and from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And some of the worst people on earth they allowed to come into our country. We're getting a lot of them out. We've made a big dent. And the self-deportation is something
not
nobody
acting
talks
like you,
about. But literally millions of people
you
are
don't exist.
self-deporting because they don't want to be captured.
You're
Once they're
actually saying
captured, they
things that
don't
don't
have the
make any
chance to
sense.
self-deport. And they never have the
Just
chance to
Texas,
come back
you know,
into
at
our
this
country.
point.
We inherited that.
And we're at the end of
that border
2025
from
going into a
an
new year.
incompetent administration and turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country.
We got to be
So
more serious.
we took the worst border in the history of our
Sandal,
country,
gotta be more
and in a
serious.
period of 2 months, we turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. During this time, we've also achieved a 50%
Gotta
drop
be more serious
in the
about
amount of
life.
fentanyl coming across the border, and China's working with us very closely on bringing down the number and the amount
be
of
more serious
fentanyl
about
that's
life.
being shipped. You know, fentanyl is very bad when you mix it with certain ingredients, but it also is very important for medicine, for anesthesias, various other things. I want people to understand that. It's not made necessarily for bad. When it's mixed with certain things, it becomes bad. And that's what's taking place in Mexico. And we've got it down to a much lower number, not satisfactory, but it will be satisfactory soon. In May, we executed the largest fentanyl bust in the history of the U.S., seizing 3 million fentanyl pills all at one time. Think of that, 3 million pills. It's amounted to billions of dollars worth of drugs. And last month, we seized another 1.7 million fentanyl pills in the state of Colorado, the poorly run state of Colorado, with a governor who's incompetent. And frankly, with a governor that won't allow our wonderful Tina to come out of a jail, in a high-intensity jail, because she caught people cheating on an election, and they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She went over, she looked at one of the election scams going on. And because she did that, they put her in jail for 9 years. The governor of Colorado is a weak and pathetic man who was run by Tren de Aragua, the criminals from Venezuela, took over sections of Colorado, and he was afraid to do anything. But he puts Tina in jail for 9 years because she caught people cheating. And when she walked over and got involved in it, they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She caught people cheating on the election, 2020, along with a lot of other people that cheated on that election. You'll see that coming out more and more. But there's no doubt that America's adversaries are trafficking fentanyl into the United States, in part because they want to kill Americans. If this were a war, that would be one of the worst wars. I believe they killed, over the last 5 or 6 years, per year, 200 to 300,000 people. You hear about 100,000, which is a lot of people, but the number's much higher than that. That's been proven. And they've destroyed a lot of families, because when they lose a child, or even if their child is heavily addicted, you lose that family. The family will never be the same. That's why today I'm taking one more step to protect Americans from the scourge of deadly fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction, which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year that we know of. So we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. But before I sign the fentanyl order, we will pin these great service members with their medals. And here today are the first 13 warriors who will receive the Mexican Border Defense Medal, which is a big deal. First, I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth and Chairman Kane to say a few words. I'd like to have Tom Homan come up, please, if you would, say a few words. And I want to thank all of the people, Pam and everybody, Stephen Miller, great Stephen Miller, what a job he's doing, for being here. Thank you both. Appreciate it very much. We have so many great people here. But I do want to ask Tom to say a few words also. So, Pete, why don't you start it off, please? Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. I would echo what you said. This has been a team effort from the beginning. Tom Homan, Terry Cole, Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, Christy Nome, Customs and Border Patrol, Protection. It has been one team, one mission to get 100% operational control of the southern border. You want to talk about America First, peace through strength and common sense? It all manifests in one basic phrase down there. Border security is national security. And we had the task of 100% control, and because of these men and women back here, we've
If you wonder where we at right now, guys, this is what Bourbon Street looks like on New Year's Eve. That's where we at. We're on Bourbon Street, New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. We're trying to see what's going on Bourbon Street without being there. Shout out to the camera guys out there. we got the Super Bowl in the next couple of days out there. Kenny, they must have hidden his Adderall because he's not flying so high. He's scared from screaming like last time.
So we're reviving an old medal that existed, was given to men and women who defended the southern border. We found out about it. We used the exact same foundry with the exact same imagery, same color, same medal, same
Nothing's
everything.
going
So
on
our
Bourbon
men and women
Street
will be
right
wearing
now,
that
Chad.
very same medal as
check
Americans
back
100 years
later.
before who were asked to defend the sovereignty of our country. President Trump was elected to do that. You have done that, Mr. President. We're proud of this mission. We're proud to defend the American people. And pinning these medals on is an example of how important it is to us. So thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it.
So,
well, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, I want to echo your thanks and gratitude for the joint force. I also want to highlight General Gio, General Nauman, and Command Sergeant Major Johnson, but also leaders at every level that came together, not just in our joint force, but in the interagency. And I want to specifically highlight our Border Patrol teammates and our Office of Air and Marine teammates, who, when I went down to the southern border and visited, were right there next to the joint force. I also want to thank not just these 13 individuals, but the joint force that was also down there and your families who poured in to make this deployment possible on the southern border. And of course, this time of the year, I'm always thinking about our currently deployed forces who are out there around the world doing our nation's business, and of course our fallen and their families who show us what courage and tenacity really are as they move forward after the loss of a service member. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
wow, we got 51 likes, Chad. Appreciate y'all.
You know, it's always an
for
honor for me to
activating
be
the
in
like button.
office.
Man, we got 50
I'm
likes.
the greatest
Cool.
president of my lifetime.
That's why I
Yes,
love
I
this
said it,
chat.
and I meant it.
I love the people that come rock with the chat.
You know, I just
got
got home
50
last
likes.
night. I toured the border in California.
That's great.
Arizona and Texas.
Thank y'all for hitting the like
I
button.
did it in four-wheel drive.
We got
I did it on the
144
river.
people in the building.
I did it from the air.
Wait, with
Hundreds
50
upon
likes.
hundreds of
Thank
miles
y'all
of
for
border.
coming through
I didn't
on this
see
New
one
Year's Eve.
illegal
The last
alien.
day of 2025
Not a single one.
is happening, and it's
I've done
happening
this
right
since
now.
1984.
And I appreciate y'all
I
for
worked for
rocking
6
with me.
different presidents. No one's done more than President Trump. What he has done
I hope y'all
is
accomplish
give us the
all
most
y'all goals
secure
for 2025.
border in the history
Every
of
goal
this
you
nation.
set out.
Hard to stop.
In the beginning of
I went to
2025,
hundreds of miles of border and didn't
I
see
pray
one illegal
that you
alien.
hit your goals.
Incredible, considering the Biden administration, we had 10, 12,000 a day, most released in the United States.
648. Appreciate you for
I'm
joining. How
proud
you
to be with
doing?
these patriots behind me. I'm already proud to be in the Oval
I
Office
hope
president,
everybody
but
in the
being-
chat
being with these heroes. I met some of these
Hit they
soldiers
goals.
down on the border. And actually, a shout out to Fort Drum, New York. We're up in
progress-
10th Mountain Division here. So Lee
progress-
Stefanik, Claudia
progress.
Tennant, we all love Fort Drum and the 10th Mountain. So look, this is a game changer.
didn't hit
I
your
want to make
goals,
something perfectly clear. Because we get attacked
I
all the
hope
time
you
being inhumane.
progress.
The Biden administration is much more humane. It's a bunch of
Hope
crap.
you move forward.
Because there's been studies done that
hope you end
31%
the
of
year in the
women that make
green.
that journey through the cartels
Like we
get
said in the
sexually
stock
assaulted.
market.
They get
We
raped.
want to be in the green.
And not just the women.
We don't want to be in
Children
the red.
too. I've
Hope
done
you
numerous
ended the year
investigations in that.
in the green.
Sex trafficking was historic highs with that open border. Fentanyl, historic highs that killed 250,000 Americans. No inspector terrorists that came across
got
the
it.
border. Record, historic.
We got
What happened under the Biden
around
administration
8 hours.
was the most inhumane thing I've seen in my lifetime.
We got 8 hours.
Now that the border is 96% decline,
Before we go
96%
into the
less
new
people
year,
coming, how many women aren't
2026?
being raped? How
We
many
support
children
you.
aren't dying making that
Come
journey?
home and
How
get
many
them
women
out.
and children aren't being sex trafficked into this country every day? How many known suspected terrorists aren't just walking across that border? President Trump and this administration is saving thousands of lives every month. Hard stop. That's just a stone cold fact. I'm just proud to be a part of this. I work with Steve Miller every day. Steve Miller is one of the most brilliant people I've met in my entire life. President Trump brought together one hell of a team here. and the success proves. We all working together, one team, one fight. We're not done yet. We're going to keep going, and I guarantee you we're going to continue saving thousands and thousands of lives. Secure border means strong national security. Secure border saves lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, let's do the medals, and I'll be signing this. Maybe you'll do the medals first, and then I'll sign, okay? Please.
The only ones are in scoring position.
Nice medal.
Oh man, right when I said that, I jinxed him. And he about to. Oh my God, bro.
That's a great job.
Ah man, they tripped out.
Great job. Great job, fellas.
Well, I think we're going to end it right here, guys. Appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm going to go live a little later, probably right around before, the new year, probably about 11 o'clock Central Time. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come kick it with me right before we get into 2026. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. Come back and rock with me. I'm going to go live again, 11 Central Time. 11 Central Time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your evening. And if you don't come back, I hope you have a great 2026. I hope you and your family are in the best of health. With that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. To the next one, which will be 11 o'clock Central Time. I'm out.